Okay, I'm back again. I crashed. Brain crash. I had to take a break and just shut down for a bit. And so I'm good now. All good. If I keep sliding off, my chair keeps sliding away on me. All right. Something's going on. Doesn't like my post for some reason. And we are getting in here. So we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting setting cookie to hold token info. Oh, it does get past that. I didn't know that loaded. So we did get all the way down here. So it is my post that's blowing up on me. All right, let's go back here. Now we want to do something like how do I set cookie and next.js to hold a JWT bearer token. Okay. I do have the post. All right, let's see here. So I'll go back to my route. Here's my post. Export async function post request const. Well, I already got the login part of this going on. So I don't need to do the login part. Alright, so let's say I have a token. Let's say that all happened and was good to go. Let's go here to this guy who's actually calling it. And then we're going to go new vertical. I can't do that. Thought I could do a vertical tab. How come I can't go to vertical tab? Move into new window, copy new window view. Huh. Apparently there's no way to... Let's just do this. Maybe if I just click on that guy. Ah, there we go. Alright, where was I? Okay, so we got this guy, which is AMGUs. So then we're going to go over to my route.js cookie. Now this is my function that I'm calling. The call here should be const headers equals new headers. Ah. This is my post. What's wrong with this picture here? Why isn't this working? So I got the post. Blah, blah, blah. Import cookie from cookie. Import serialize from cookie. This one's not doing this serialize. Oh, it does. Cookie.serialize. But it's doing it different. It's doing headers. Maybe because I'm using a different type of token. Let's try this thing. I feel like if I import serialize, I don't need to import cookie, right? Why would I need to import cookie if I just take the serialize method out of cookie? Unless it's serializing it differently. And then it calls it up here. To access the JWT token stored in a cookie in the client side, you can use JavaScript's document.cookie or libraries like JS cookie. What's better, JS cookie or libraries? I mean, libraries sound a little bit nicer, huh? I mean, they're just gonna make it easy. I think I already have JS cookie installed. So I don't need serialize from here because I'm not using that. Am I not using router either? Import. Well, this doesn't even say I need to do an import. Or I think I have JS cookie installed. Let's just see what happens if I try to use it. I feel like I may have already done this. So we're going to take this out because I don't think I'm using it. Kind of looks like I'm not using use effect here either. Keep things clean, man. Alright, so we're going to go down here. And oh, that's accessing the cookie. I don't want to access the cookie, I just need to write to the cookie. Secure. It shows you how to access the cookie. What? How do I call the post? Okay, so they're doing here, try constant response, await fetch. Okay, here's my fetch. Fetch, okay, I got API cookie, method post, headers, content type. I'll just stay logged out for the moment. Content type, body, JSON stringify. So we're pretty much good. I don't know what I'm posting. I mean, if you really think about it, there's nothing in my... Oh, my response. Oh, and then I have response on here, set message. Why do I have it that way? Can I use the same response object after I've will it reinitialize it, or will it complain that I'm doing this using the same response object? Because I'm doing a post to the response object above. Oh wait. You know what? This login user is actually part of AMG user, not part of cookie route. think my problem here might be that I'm trying to do this inside of cookie routing. I may need to take this out of here. Because this guy so we set login user is going to go do this. Email, password, go in, set login true, try, blah 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 blah, login, fetch, login. Going to try to do the login. We're going to get here, get the token, constant token. Oh, maybe I can do this in here, but I'm going to have to change. I can't use. But, oh, here's the token. Body stringify token. Data.token, okay. So, maybe that's fine. And then it's just a matter of am I setting it right? Am I post to set the cookie? It's right here. I already got the username. I'm not doing any of this stuff right here. But I am going to try and do this post request. But then they have a token. I got to pass in the token. How do I pass in the token? Am I doing that here? Body, headers. Is that going to be request.body? Is that what I need over here? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm getting my car guy checking out my son's car. I told him not to call me unless it was good news, but he starts off with, "Oh, Ken." Glue. He didn't even know how to open his hood. So he wouldn't know about anything in the engine. I'm gonna get a call. So, uh, from my car guy, he's gonna tell me there's some glue on the radiator. The radiator's been overheating, and I guess the previous owner apparently tried to glue the crack in the radiator. Um, and it worked because for 3 years we didn't have any problems. But apparently, uh, that's apparently that's the cause of why it's been overheating. Because apparently that glue broke down, and now it's overheating again. Interesting. I don't know what kind of glue they put on there though. 3 years, man, that's pretty good. He's been driving it quite a bit. Must have been some pretty industrial strength glue. Anyway, so yeah, the radiator's cracked, and that person didn't want to fix it. They just glued it and sold the car. Interesting. All right, let's be back to this. Let's see if I can get anywhere before he calls me. So we got cookie.serialize. We got that whole bit working in there. Basically, it's the same stuff I had already. So post request started. Console.log. Setting cookie. And then we're going to go back to my use MG authorize. Instead of saying setting cookie, we're going to say post to set cookie method. All right, let's go back here again. Clear this. Oh, are we still failing to compile? Or are we just not running? I think we just might not be running. Oh, we are running. What do you mean fail to compile? Use AMG authorize. What's the... Oh, cannot reassign. It does not like my doing this. All right, we'll call it, I don't know. I don't think it's going to let me just not... I mean, I'm not trying to get anything back, but... Huh? Because I don't need a response. That one I get a response and I'm using it to see if it worked. I guess I could do that. Let's see if this clears up. Post set cookie. See, we're still having a problem just calling my post. We're not getting into my post. And I did do a check here. Handle submit. Username, password, constant result. Alright, let's try to do it this way. Constant post results equals. I don't think my post is actually returning anything though. It's still just blowing up on the post. It doesn't like it. It's the same exact thing here. It's not even getting to this. This is like not even happening. Well, I mean that's happening, but this is not happening. It's not doing anything once we get inside the console method. It just says internal server error. We go here. I would expect the very first thing to do is console log post request started. But it's not working. So we're not even entering here. I am doing something wrong. It just says internal server error. What does that mean? That is about as generic as an error can be. Wait, we got more information here. Post request. Is this happening right here? Because if that's the case, res.status is not a function. Do I have res.status here? I do. So obviously my response object is not the same response object as a res. Res and response, I don't know what the difference is between them. But yeah, let's check that one out. What, am I using res.status twice? Where's the other res.status? Oh, it's right here. Okay, that said, what is this one reading? It's just going to respond. It's just going to be, what? And mine up here, does it even return anything? Post. All right, let's go down here. We're going to take this guy. And we're just going to do the same bit here. Except up here, we'll just return what is this one? Oh, something like it. I'll have to change it a little bit. because this one is, like, there's no token. So go here, say message. Token required. Go back here. Try it again. We will fail again. Next response is not defined. Why is next response not defined? Oh, because I didn't get next response. Next response is right here. Let's try it again. All right, so do I even need my response object? I don't even think I'm using it now. This guy doesn't even have a home. The one I was attempting to create. Still blowing up. What do I got now? Post request started. Token not set. Why doesn't it say console log.token not set? I don't see token dot set. I don't see that problem here. It did console.log it, but it didn't log it over on this part. So I'm not passing the token in apparently. Request.body. Alright, so let's go back to my thing here. It is set there.
Garage would like to talk to Ken.
Oh, hello. I started a big fight, huh?
Yeah, well, I believe that somebody epoxied or tried to do something, but they're all like, no, that's just old crusty antifreeze. And I was like, 20 years I've been doing this. I've never seen antifreeze look like that. They're like, it's antifreeze. I said, no, it's not.
So you basically, they thought the same thing as me. It was some kind of weird, the weird thing.
Yeah, crusty crap coming out of the cooling system. And I was like, it's cooling. Still looks, you know, it looks like cooling. I was like, how is it? Whatever.
Well, you know, looking at it, though, looking at your, you know, if you look closely,
Yeah.
I do, like, I magnified it in your photo, and I do see what looks like some kind of a line that seems to be running right underneath that. So if, it's like I'm looking at it, and it's actually separating right in the middle of whatever that is.
Yeah, there's a big crack in there, so it needs a radiator.
Yeah, so, I mean, like I say, it must have been decent glue, whatever they used.
Yeah, apparently, I don't know. I think it's glue or epoxy.
Some industrial level stuff.
You know, but if you touch it, it's super brittle, but at the same time, you have hot coolant spewing out of there.
Yeah, it probably just broke down and aged whatever they put on there.
But I mean, if it was like this before, you know, and I saw this car, back in March, I would have made note of this, you know? Or no, last year, into last year.
Yeah, well, you know, this car's never been, I mean, like my son.
Last year, I did a pump on it.
Oh yeah, was it really? Yeah, well, it was probably working at the time. You had no reason to question it. You probably thought it was some crusty old junk too, because it was working fine.
Well, no, because I would have made note of it, 100%. Well, that's covered, but, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. If he never glued it, maybe it is coolant. I don't know. I've just never seen that.
Yeah, he wouldn't have any clue what that is, much less me. But yeah, what are we looking at here?
$240. I'll put a radiator in it.
For how much?
$640.
Well, I know it's got to be done. Well, let me talk to him, see what he's got, because he's working part-time and I'm not working at all. So.
The kid drives a lot.
Does he? No.
Yeah.
He runs to and from Bothell a lot, but he doesn't really go very far. He don't even like to drive his car. Yeah, he always borrows our car when he can, so he can save gas.
Gotcha. His valve cover, leaking oil, leaking pretty good. Not end of the world, you know. But at some point, probably the next 6 months worth addressing, because now it's starting to get down to the bottom of the engine. It's not critical today, but if you're gonna keep driving over 6 months, you're probably gonna be doing it.
Okay, well, yeah.
Another $420.
Yeah, that's probably gonna have to wait because I don't think he has it, and I don't. I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
But
Let me know the radiator. Pretty easy fix. I can order it tomorrow and have it done tomorrow.
okay, let me work. Let me see what happens. Let me work it out.
Cool. Give me a holler, buddy.
All right, talk to you later.
Thanks, sir. Bye.
Bye. Ugh, ugh is all I gotta say. Marwan. How you doing, man? No, my son's got he's got a cracked radiator. I knew he had a cracked radiator because that's the only thing that made sense to me. Um, yeah, I don't know, but either way, it's cracked. There was a debate whether or not whatever it was that was on the radiator there, he thought it was glue. And actually, probably, and everybody else in the place said it wasn't. It was coolant. And you know what? I think it might be coolant. Maybe it wasn't cracked all along, but the coolant. Oh yeah, I am interested in programming. Yeah, when I get back to it here. So, I've been programming for a while. Actually, my whole career has been C Sharp, SQL Server, that kind of thing. But it's all been .NET Framework. And then I did a lot of web programming, but again, that was ASP.NET and using like, what do you call it, link to SQL for my database connection. So that stuff is kind of, unless a company, I'm out of work. I lost my job 4 months ago. And so I've been trying to find a new work, but all these companies want the latest and greatest, and I don't have it yet. I mean, I don't have like MVC and Blazor and React and Angular and all these other pieces that people want on top, or even C# .NET Core, because I was in framework. I think my code was all 4.5. AI has been helping me. I got to give you that. I've been using ChatGPT and Black Box AI back and forth because there's certain things I like about each, and there's certain things I do not like about each. I like Black Box AI because it doesn't delete my stuff. So like if I come back the next day, it'll stay on screen. It'll still be there. I can continue on with whatever I was working on. I don't like Black Box AI because it's a little bit more hit or miss about where it goes. Like it seems to be a little less able to understand. It does great coding things if you're very precise about your inquiry. But it seems to be able to jump the tracks. Like it can go, oh, you're gonna do this, and then do something totally different. Like it decided you were doing something else. Every now and then it does that. I like ChatGPT because, well, for one, it seems to stay on topic. It doesn't have this losing track of what's going on. But if I don't finish my task on a given day and I leave the page up, it'll log me out or drop the page. It'll lose the session state. And then I have to re-ask the question. I don't know, man. I'm not really all that. I mean, this stuff here is me learning this stuff. I'm really not I'm not good yet. At least not at this stuff. I'm working on auth parts for React and Blazor. I have kind of a project going where I'm trying to do side-by-side coding on the two, and I'm spending most of my time just learning this stuff. I'm really just trying to bring my old skills, my 15-year-old skills or 10-year-old skills, to the modern day so that I can get modern day jobs. But so yeah, I'm probably not up for starting new projects. This project is my learning project to create these two side-by-side websites that are going to be the same, but they're using two different languages or two different coding bases. I'm going to do one in Blazor, which is using C#, And then I'm doing one with React and Next.js, which uses TypeScript. And then I'm using my Auth API, which is written in C# as well, .NET. It's a .NET Auth API. And they're both calling it to get the login info. And then I'll create the UI part of my website to start creating components and that kind of thing to try to learn it. I have been starting to get more and more and more familiar with how these work. I just don't, probably not up for starting a new project though. So, you're welcome to ask me something if you think maybe it's in my realm of expertise, but I don't know that I could give you very good answers. Basically, anybody who's watching my stream is watching for the solutions that I come up with, not really watching to get a specific learning. I would like. Oh, see, there you go. You've got a different set. You got C, which is really good. Python and Java are in high demand right now. Well, so is C#, but the version of C# they want from me is not what I want. It was not what I am. But I have a lot of SQL Server skill, so database. But yeah, Python, Java, C is a little less common to see these days, but it's out there. But Python and Java are big. I got to be honest. I took a programming class in Python just to see how different it was from C#, and it's a little different. But the biggest problem I have with it is weird. It uses indents as actual functional, what do you call syntax? Was like that really threw me off. I'm like, I was doing the class thing and I typed something out and I go, why isn't this working? It's exactly word for word spelled correctly, and I'm like, this like I don't know what is going on. This is like it's all right. Well, this the only difference is I've got this indent thing, and I was like, all right, well let's tab this. Everything worked. I'm like, what? So yeah, it uses indents as that's a weird thing. Python threw me off there, but I probably take some more advanced Python just because I want to learn a little bit more of the. Well, I'm not doing it right now. I'm not using Python right now. I may take another advanced Python course. If you want to help me out on this project, if you know React, Next.js, if you see anything I'm doing wrong and you want to help, hey man, I'm all up for anybody who wants to throw in useful tidbits that I haven't figured out. But I'm not doing the Python stuff right now. I should spend some more time in Python. Let's just say in the last 4 months since I lost my job, I have taken online courses for React, Next.js, Python, Azure. I spent 2.5 months working towards an Azure developer AZ204 certificate, which I haven't finished yet, but I'm working on it. I also did the Python. I did GraphQL. What else did I do? Well, I also did Next.js. Did I say Next.js? So now I've seen Django. I've seen that word Django related to Python and such. What is Django? I haven't looked it up because, again, I keep seeing all these other, these words and languages and tools out there, and that's just one I haven't made time for. I'm guessing it's some kind of, is it a CLR? What is Django? I mean, I don't know what that is. Is it named after the movie? The Django. That means it must be pretty new, right? Only a few years, because Django was a movie. I should look it up. I am curious. What is Django here? Just sometimes just knowing what things are kind of helps clear things up, right? Django Unchained. That was the movie. Oh, it's a REST framework. Okay. Django REST framework, web APIs for Django. So yeah, my web API that I'm creating right now is a .NET Auth API. Website development. So they're Python APIs. So they would basically be web APIs using Python. There's a powerful and flexible toolkit for building web APIs. Some reasons you might want to use REST framework. Yeah, see my .NET Auth is a REST framework, a REST API. And this is the auth I wrote here. I spent some time on this. The problem I ran into when I was doing my this .NET Auth one is that there's a template one that you can kind of build, and it has a lot of basic stuff. And there's a lot of YouTubers out there showed you how to work with them, but none of them had this. If you want to validate the token that you have, so that you can make sure it's a good token, whenever you're browsing around your website, you need to have a way to say, hey, is this token even valid? Well, that's cool, man. I mean, I never worked with it. I never worked with that one. And will I? I don't know. You know, here's the thing. You gotta specialize. I mean, you gotta pick something, right? You can't know everything. You can know a lot of things. You can know a few things, but it's better to learn, how would I call it, vertically rather than horizontally. Horizontally would be like if you're working with databases, learning Oracle, SQL Server, Postgres, Cosmos, MongoDB, just trying to learn them all. That's horizontal learning. That means you're going to go to a company, and the odds are they're going to use one of those. Now, some companies have more than one. Like the one I was at was using some stuff in the web. They actually use Cosmos, Mongo, and SQL Server. Ugh. But most of the time, they're going to pick one, and they're going to be building their whole infrastructure, their whole application stack around one database, right? So if you go up to the middle tier, you're talking about Next.js, or using a Blazor type setup, or you're using web APIs, which could possibly be something like your Django. And so you're talking about these middle tiers, these APIs, which are running in the back end, or the middle tier before the database. But again, learning horizontally spreads your knowledge and your capacity for what you're trying to learn. And then it's great if you can learn a full stack on several things, but it's also very difficult to do if you're trying to get a job, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to go out looking for a job like me. You're going to put out 100 different resumes like me, 100 and something, and then they're going to have a list of requirements, and it's going to be an S that goes all the way up the stack, and you're going to hope that your knowledge hits each piece of the stack, right? So it's going to be at the middle tier, and then the top tier is going to be Angular, React, Vue, and whatever else. It could be, well, Node.js is kind of in there with Next.js or GraphQL, which kind of sits somewhere in the middle of those. You can have Blazor in there. You can even have ASP at the top, if somebody's running that old stuff. But again, you're talking about another tier. So you got the full stack is your front end, single page websites, which is kind of the current technology, the up to date. And then you've got your middle tier, which is going to be the server side, talk to the database piece, and then you're going to have the database piece. But you want to, if you want to learn complete stacks, preferably you learn the most popular stack. So a Microsoft backend, React/Angular top end, Next.js, Node.js middle is great. Python also works. I mean, Python's another, it's the API layer, the middle tier layer. For me, it's going to be C# mostly, but I'm probably going to try to learn a little bit more Python. But yeah, man, good on you. At least you've got a language that's in pretty high demand right now. I don't know why Python is huge. I like C#. It's a little bit more powerful than most of the languages, but it's also, for some people, considered that old thing over there. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like learning C++. Problem is, C++ isn't going anywhere, because C++ builds all of these other languages, right? C++ is the thing that's going to make your VB. It's going to make your C#. It's going to make your video games work. It's going to make your graphic applications work. I mean, C++ is the granddaddy, right? It's the one that everybody, that's the power code. Now there's C's probably down there too, but I'd never use C. I don't know. I know nothing about C in comparison to C++, but I do know it's out there. I I think it's at that same level as C++, that same kind of base level. It's the language that makes other languages. But I don't know it. And you got some good base there. I don't know what the demand is for C. I don't think it's super high, but you've got Python, so that's got super high. And Django again is another one I've seen. And I don't know, is it Django with a D or Django with a silent D? Is it Django or Django? Is it Django Unchained or Django Unchained? I don't know. Yo, welcome. Yo, let me chew. Uh-oh. Great. What was I going to say? Oh, you're welcome to contact me on Discord or my message and ask, or you want to ask here. But it's a good chance that my expertise is not expertise. I used to consider myself an expert, but once I got unemployed and found out that nobody wants the skills I have, I'm finding that I am a neophyte. I am a beginner at just about everything anymore. I mean, I understand the concepts. I understand programming basics, all of the, how things should be structured, but syntactically, or even like React and Vue and these top-end languages, and their whole component structure and their page structures is all new to me. I mean, I'm getting it because I'm pretty good at grasping, but I haven't figured this stuff out, man. I don't know enough SQL, or I don't know enough syntax. Heck, I don't know the methods and the functions that I'm supposed to be calling. So, yeah, honestly, I'm always willing to try to answer questions, but I can't promise that I can. I don't want to get your hopes up. But you're welcome to ping me. There's plenty of there are plenty of experts out there who do some pretty impressive stuff. So I would say, I know they don't respond. You go online and you email some of these people or instant message them and they don't respond. I get it. So, but then again, you can ask me whatever you want and I'll tell you if I know the answer, or maybe if it's something I think I can figure out, I'll help you figure it out. But I just don't yeah, I'm here. Whenever I log in, you're welcome to chit chat, or like I said, you can Discord message me or instant message me on YouTube or whatever you want. I'm always up for a little bit of questioning, and if you see anything that I'm working on, you can be here, and if you see me struggling on something that doesn't make sense, like I am right now, feel free to contact me. So apparently an uncle of mine is in the hospital, so I gotta respond to my wife. Great. Oh gosh, see, some people. My uncle didn't want to go to the hospital, so his daughter forced him, basically got him, took him to the hospital, and he has gallstones, so they're fixing him. But at least it shouldn't be a life-threatening thing, right? It should be able to be taken care of, but yeah, he's in the hospital for that. I don't get it when people won't go to the hospital. I don't get it. It just don't make sense to me. I mean, if something's not right, you're not feeling it, you go to the hospital. Yes, he's an older gentleman now. I think he's over 80, but still. I have to reply, give information to people here. I gotta all right, almost done. Almost done. I know this is not the best thing to be doing while I'm on stream here. Okay, but yeah, let's get some work done. Or let's try to get this thing progress. What time is this? 3:20. Maybe another hour and a half. Let's see if I can get this fully functional. So I keep hitting this problem here, where I have an unauthorized error or unauthorized, my cookie is blowing up, 401, which is, I think, is that is actually part of the error though, isn't it? Login user, because if I go here, token required, token, login successful. It's getting unauthorized. Let's go, I gotta restart. I think sometimes when I've been doing a lot of work, a lot of changes, it's good to refresh everything. Make sure I'm working with a fully built code base. It's still saying 401 unauthorized. And I'm not sure why. So I got the login user. So we're coming here, it says login failed. So what I should be getting when I do this is a bunch of I don't need that. Go here. Starter back up. See where I'm at. Okay, so this is my app. Very basic right now. See, here's a problem. See how it says hello here? It still says hello. It's not supposed to say hello. I'm not logged in. It's supposed to say log in. So something is still amiss with my page here. It's supposed to say login, and it does oftentimes say login, but something keeps going off the rails. It's probably related to my recent changes. I probably have something broken. So API off login, uncaught, invalid, or unexpected token. Huh. Invalid or unexpected token. So when I go to npm JSX, I have a check going here when it loads. It's supposed to say, you know, check my cookie, check for a cookie, and something is not quite doing that. Invalid or unexpected token. I'm not even looking for. I would think I'd get error fetching cookie if this was the error, but I am not. Image is loaded lazily. Replace the placeholders. I don't care about that. What is this? Invalid or unexpected token. It says it's uncaught error. Whoa, whoa! What just happened? Chunk load error. Loading chunk. App home. Layout failed. Localhost 3000. Next static chunks. App home. Layout.js. Yeah, there's... That totally exploded. I don't know what that's all about. There was an error while hydrating because the error happened outside a suspense boundary. A lot of chunky loading errors. I think it's because this error caused a problem. I think this error left it in a state that it wasn't done doing what it needed to do, and it blew up. That's what I think happened. See. And now look, it works. I don't know. See, now it says login just like it's supposed to. But my initial start kind of crapped out. So something's still not right there, but let's go here and see what happens. Okay, so I've got let's go here. We're gonna go amgamer@realfamily.com. Go back over here and get my password. And then we got my post to set cookie method, and that's where I'm at. This is where things keep blowing up on me. Post to set cookie method. I go here and kaboom. Kaboom, I say. Login user, await in login user, handle login. Callback. But it's not making the call. It's like I'm not even getting there. Because if I was getting there, I'd be getting one of these things, like post request started. And there's no post request started here. It just says post a cookie method. And this one doesn't even have... Oh, post request... Oh, it does go to post request started. It's just not logging it in my console here. Token not set. So we're not passing the token. Now, I don't know why this says token required here, but it's not actually reading the response. My return here does not read my response. So am I not passing a token? Do I not have a valid token? I thought I did. Okay, token is declared, but the value is never read. So, oh, it's because I'm using that. What if I just do? Well, that'll pass it. I think that's probably the problem there. I don't know, but again, it passed the token, but I'm not actually reading the response. I should probably go take this thing and go post results here. And this is going to be post result down here. I don't need to check data.token again because I obviously have it, or I wouldn't have gotten there. And can I read my next response? I mean, it sent me a response. I should be able to say something like post result. What was it? Message? Throw new error. Let's say post result dot message. No? Well, if post result is the value it's supposed to be when it returns, I should be getting a response back. And that should be a message. That's all I want, so. Should be 401, but trying to decide if I want to throw an error or just show the error. But let's save it for now. Let's see what that does. I'm gonna go ahead and console.log this, or clear my console. Whoops, sorry. Hit submit. Login here. Is that what I expected? Well, it's kind of what I expected. It's like mostly what I expected. I got further because I got still missing some stuff, obviously, because this says the message is login error, which is fine. It's what I put here for the error because I threw an error. So I think we're still tripping up right here. It's not getting, it is getting in there. Because I still got post request started, token not set, and then I'm here. And token not set is a result of, the only place that says that is right here, token not set. So I'm returning my next response, token required. It's obviously not setting the token because it says token not set, which is not true or shouldn't be true. So something's weird. Console.log. Let's see what happens if I do console.log token. I want to see what this actually has in it. Because it did not say login failed, because so my token must have something in it. You're a single viewer now. Oh, you're the only one here? On Facebook? I guess I do have a link for Facebook on there. But okay. Yeah, I'll check it out, man. I will. And I appreciate I appreciate any support. If that's following, subscribing, whatever. I'm good. Good with that. But I'll take a look. Thank you, man. And yeah, let me see. Let me go check that out. Let me go see what you have here. Facebook. Where is my Facebook? Dida Marone. Hello. Oh, I see. I see the link. It showed up. I see the message. You said hello, and hello to you. See here. Where's my... Hey, my Broncos won yesterday. They won big. I mean, yeah, it's preseason, so it doesn't mean anything, but it's still cool. Ah, yeah, I see my auto reply. My auto reply replied to you. Hey, I'm replying to you. I probably should actually. Yeah. Sheesh. Okay, I gotta. Let's see. Where am I? Where was I? Let's see. What time is it? Oh, 3:38. Well, I'm making a little bit of progress. I did get to the point where I was able to tell me I had a login error, but the error is not the login. The error. Let's go see what happens when I click this. I want to see if my token actually writes. Aha! See, the token writes. So we got a perfectly valid token. So that is not my problem. It is a bearer token. And so we are good with the token. And that means I need to figure out why it's saying the token is not set. So I have a body. Body.token. When I come in here, it's reading body.token, right? Yeah, request.body. Request.body. Well, the body. Oh, do I need to say dot token? Oh, maybe I have to say dot token. It's not what the example said. The example did not say I had to do that. No, we're still not. It's not even going in here though, because if it entered this code at all, I get console.log post request started. Oh, wait a minute. I keep saying that. Let's keep wrong. It does. A post request started. All right. So cannot destructure property token of request body.token as it is undefined. Okay. So it still doesn't like. Oops. There is something weird about my passing this token. It is not taking it. Even though I've set the token here. The token's got a value. I come in, post. That one has a body. JSON.stringify. Email a password and the token. Email and password is what came up, but it is part of what's in here. Constant response. And now this one has a token. So we know this is working, so I don't need this anymore. But so we know we have we have a valid token. The token's got why why is this not working? See, this is why I'm not an expert. If I was an expert, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is it. But body, it's not setting the token. It keeps coming back as nothing. And login error, which is an error that it kicks back to the next level. Obviously it reads past post result and it's not okay because something's happening in here. Huh. Alright, I have my chat GPT because, you know, I hear API is the way to go, but I don't know how to program API. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are API programmers extraordinary. Oh, look, it erased my thing. See, this is the thing about ChatGPT. It likes to just throw away your code every now and then. It's like, yeah, you don't need this anymore, right? Yeah, nah, I'll just get rid of it for you. It's like, no. That's why you should log in, because then it'll memorize your requests. It'll put them on the left. Now, again, black box AI is probably a little better. All right, let's see. Create API route. Then we got the post. Trying to see. Turn response, catch, send the post response from the front end. Just trying to figure out what am I doing wrong. So, missing or invalid authorization header. Why is it using an authorization header? Alright, so we'll go to a post here. You can send a post request to the API route from the front end of your Next.js application. Here's an example using fetch. Oh yeah, that's one. Response equals await fetch authorization bearer and my token. Which, interestingly enough, I don't need to write bearer because my token actually has bearer in it. So I could just write the token. I could just say token because it's going to say bearer in the token. See, like if I go back to my thing here, it actually says bearer token. So don't need to do that piece. I put it in. I could parse it off, but I've noticed that a lot of things actually want it or need it, or so why put it? Why not just put it in there? So yeah. And if I don't need it, I parse it off. All right, so I'm going to see if I can see. Look, if you look at the only difference is this one doesn't serialize it up here. Response.cookies.set. I don't know. Let's try this. I'm gonna try and do it this way. I mean, it doesn't matter really. I mean, I just need to change the name of the cookie. They're using request headers. I guess that's fine. I'm setting a cookie of it, so let's try it. I mean, it can't be worse. Not working is not working, so can't. All right, so let's just take this. It does use next response, same thing, except it's not using the serialize of the cookie, which is interesting. But it's not taking the token. Wait a minute, where's it passing the token in? Oh, auth header.split. Oh, I'm putting it in the header apparently. All right, well, let's try it. Let's try using the auth headers. Why not? I'm gonna put this right here. So it's very similar. It puts a try catch in, which I'm fine with. I don't have any console.writes. But let's see, cookie created successfully. That's all good. Set the cookie in the response. We got HTTP only, same thing. Got the production, same thing, except we're not serializing it this time. But I'm okay with that, if in fact this works. Missing or invalid authorization header, so we don't have the header, which is going to be how we're passing it in. So now we're going to go back over to here, and I'm going to try and call it. So really it's just this top piece, I think, because then we just read the response. So we have this guy. Let's actually take this whole bit, copy it, and I'll just nest this try catch right in the middle of my other. Why not? Nested try catch is perfectly honest work. Oops. I don't know how to get prettier. Is it Shift F? Oh, there it goes. Alt Shift F. Okay. Get my cleanup in there. Okay, so it is just error. But this one is set cookie error. I like a space in there for my own edification. Response, cookie created successfully. Console.error. cookie is not. Oh, okay. Well, this one returns data.message, so it's like fine. And it's going to put data.message in there, so we're all right. API, it's not called set cookie, it's API / cookie. It's not set cookie. And this is going to have to be, I can't reset, so I have to call this one set response set cookie. Why not? It's kind of long, but whatever. Then we're going to go, there's some keys that actually change stuff, but there's other responses on here. I don't want to break it. All right, so now we're taking that. We have the token. We're going to pass the token, except it doesn't have to have bear on it because it's already here. So I can probably just do this. Because my token already has the bearer on it. It's much simpler looking as far as the call to it goes. Let's see what that does. And go over here, and we're going to clear this mess and hit submit. Ah! Cookie created successfully! Cookie created successfully! One step for man, one giant leap for kinkind. All right. Now we're moving. Now we're cooking with gas. I never got that saying. That saying is goofy, but I'll take it. Yes, very good. Now I can go to the next step. So now I'm consuming my token, saving my token. Now to use my token in a way that actually is usable. Which would mean something like somebody tries to go to my page, my account page, and check to see if they're logged in. Now there's other things I got to do with my token, like I got to provide things like a name and an email so that I can read other token bits from it. Okay, so I'm a little concerned about this setup because it may have me going back to it, because as you can see in this header, it starts with bearer. So we've got a header token, but oh, it does split it. I don't know how I'm going to get it in there though, because I'm going to have to, what if it's got, like, I'm not sure, how do I read other values from the token, right? Because the token just came in, it's a bearer token, it's just the token. But if I pass it with extra info, like if I pass it with name and email and that kind of stuff, I don't know what's going to happen. How would I read other, because it is a token, it is saving the token to a cookie, but how would I read other token values, such as email, that might be passed with the JWT error. Huh. All right, Dita. You have a good one, man. I do appreciate your stopping by, saying hi, and giving me good luck because you got me through that step. Now, of course, I'm gonna make it more complicated now, as I've gotten the easy part done. Now to go to do the hard part, which has been difficult. But hey, you have a good one. So I'm going to try to read more from this because I want to pass more. So I've got my auth header, which is bare, but constant auth header request header dot get authorization. But they're putting more in it. So I got import druit from JSON Web Token. I'm going to try and install that. I don't think I have that installed. Pretty sure that doesn't exist. Let's go here and try it. So this is going to be part of the same animal, part of the same post. Say import JWT from JSON. Yeah, see, I don't have that. JSON Web Token. I am going to need to go install and where's my console? So npm install JSON Web Token. Oh no, it found 0 vulnerabilities. Oh no. Okay, it should be installed now. So we have the bear, we have the return. Everybody was happy there. As I went auth header, seems like it's the same. We have auth header split. Decode and verify the druit. Let's see if I can do this piece. I don't know why it's. Oh, is it like stored in the token? I didn't even think about that. It's probably stored in the token, huh? So we got auth.split, and then we have to do this thing. Decoded token. And I do have a druit secret. I think that's what it's called. Yep, it's there. Druit secret. I think that's the right one too. I gotta reply to those that are texting me about all this. It's about this stuff. Okay. That is solved. Solved. That was an easy thing to deal with. Okay. Now let's see here. We got that item solved, but now we're trying to see about how do we read this if we have more stuff in it. That's kind of the whole goal here. So I've got it decoded, I guess, token, and then I have my Druid secret here. Going to be decoding it. So I can get decoded token dot email. So it's going to decode it with whatever I put in it, and then I can do more with it. So like if I want to get the email, and that's kind of what I'm thinking I want to do in the long term. But right now, all I'm doing is verifying the token, and then we're going to say, hey, you know, we're good. We have the cookie set. I probably won't even do the splitting of it here. I just wanted to know how to do it, because this is probably not the best place for that. Because I want to pull the email, pull whatever out of it, and this is not where I would do that. This is just me setting the cookie. I'd probably want to go somewhere else, set the, I mean, what would I do with it? If I set the cookie here, I probably want whatever's calling or logging in to go read the cookie and do whatever it wants with the cookie, get the email, get whatever from the, you know, maybe even pass the value that I want to use to the cookie. That would probably make things a little bit more sensible. So like, if I have a cookie right now, so theoretically, if I take this and go home now, well, it's supposed to have taken me home. It logged in, said, hey, you're good. But now, look, I'm still here. So what that should have did was go here, set login, and then I should have had like return, and then now it should automatically take me somewhere else. So I went here, I went to auth page, and then we did handle login. But once we were done, I didn't redirect anywhere. Probably should have redirect. Does login user return anything? Let's go here. Return is login. So I have is login. So I should probably go here. What am I doing? Am I going like constant? Oh. No, I can go login user. Oh, I see. I can go like his login. If is login, this would probably be where I redirect, right? Router dot push And we'll just take them back to the home page. Sure. why not? And this is going to be squigglies. To enclose. Cannot read properties of undefined. Wait, what? Okay. I should probably make the same test. Exist user token. Console.log. Router.push. Exist user token. Local. I see. It's not even local storage anymore. That's not a thing anymore. It's like. I don't even have that anymore. What did I do with that navbar? Navbar's making the same test. No, this one's using useEffect to go get it. But this one, oh, this is client side. Hey, useEffect again? Do I do useEffect? I feel like useEffect is just something I'm using. I'm using useEffect too much. I don't like it. I mean, honestly, I've only used it once, but twice is getting crazy. Considering I only have like 2 pages. I mean, I could. And what did this trigger? If I'd set it, well, I mean, maybe not. It's a component, right? So my component is deciding, but my page up here probably also needs to decide. So if I take this guy, say copy, should be the exact same because it's going to do the exact same test. Still feels weird. But it's part of my login page. Why? Why would I need to? Because if we already handled and we're already logged in and we just say if is login router.push. But I wanted to do it if we just, somebody just browses back to this page and they just come to the login page for some bizarre reason. I wanted to go, oh, yeah, you should not be here. It's like you're in the wrong place, man. useEffect is not defined. Oh, do I not have useEffect on my React here? useEffect. Well, it's great. It's set, but coughing. Yeah, that's me and my goofiness, man. All right, so we're gonna go if. What is the if? If set cookie. If hashtag cookie value, and we want to redirect back to the home page. I'd like to redirect back to where they tried to go, but yeah, we'll redirect them back to the home page. Because otherwise I have to store what page they came from. Is there a way to do that even? Because like they could come from some other page that requires login, but I think they just go back to the home page, right? I mean, what is it? Like if you go to an account page and it forces you to the login page, you go to login, it takes you back to the home page, and then you go wherever you want. But I think you have to have a place to go back, because I don't think that it makes sense to just try to. I mean, I guess I could try to remember where they were trying to go, but I don't want to. I'm sure there's a way to do it, and maybe I do want to do that. I just don't want to do it right now. Let's restate that. I don't want to do it right now. I'm probably missing a couple of problems here because I think these both need to have that on the end. Hey, look, it kicked me back. And it says hello. And it says login. And it says hello. And it says login. Stop it! How come it says login again? And now it won't let me go there because it's kicking me back here because it's just... Oh, gosh. It's so confused. It's obviously not working correctly. This login thing is not... So I click on here and it keeps sending me back here. And then it's like, yeah, we're good, man. No, we're not. It says cookies null. Why is my cookie value null? I'm obviously kind of looping now, because now I go back to the other page and it's redirecting me here because I am logged in, but it's not reading something correctly. So when I get back to my nav bar, or my, I think the problem is I probably shouldn't do this in my nav bar. Maybe I should do this on my home page. But the problem is if I do it on my home page, I won't be able to. Console.log cookie. And it is. It's cookie value equals null. But why is it null? It should not be null. It's not error fetching. We know cookie set. Cookie value. Why is it? So it's going to be, should say hello. So that's the thing. So we have cookie value. It says it's null though. It's coming in and it's null. Why is it null? API cookie. We go here. Now we're doing the get, which is just this guy here. This is a slightly different get though. I mean, this is setting the cookie. That's the headers I get. I could be reading this wrong now because I'm doing this slightly different. I'm using headers. Do I need to log in? Let's log in. How do I call a get method? that returns a specific value of a JWT bearer token when a user arrives at my next JS application homepage. Yep. All right, pages, API token, JS, import. That must be the, that's not a GET request though, man. My app uses app folder, not pages. Create a new file in the app API directory, token.js. No, I have cookie, whatever. And it's a GET. This one's not using a GET method. Please rewrite GET method as my app uses post to set. App hooks use token.js. Import constant use effect. Wait a minute. Here's the rewritten example using a GET method to fetch the token value. Alright, so I got the API route. They are using a different approach. This is not the same. See, this is what Black Box AI does not stick to the plan. Create a new file, app hooks. This is next. Okay. In the app component, use the use token hook to fetch the token value when the user arrives at the app. I mean, that might be good, but it's like I feel like I'm taking a totally different turn. And where is the GET method? Is this the GET method it wrote? Import constant. See, they created it as a hook. which yes, that works, but it's like wasn't even, my brain wasn't even thinking hooks, because that's not what I've been doing this whole time. Black Box AI goes in a different direction. All right, so yeah, they're going a different route. Hooks are good because they're reusable a little bit more, but man, it's like they veered off to another page. And this is using no. Right. Oh, black box. Black box, my friend. You are totally just jumping the tracks for me. I feel like maybe I'm asking it the wrong question. I mean, maybe I'm not. Maybe it's giving me perfectly valid answers. I have to figure out now, do I want to do it that way? Because it means rewriting what I've done. Okay, so I just want to correct my get token here, my get path here to read the exact cookie value. I want to request the right cookie value. But obviously the way this is doing it is using hooks and using totally different approach, which is, again, I don't have anything against hooks. And hooks might be even better than use effect. I think maybe that's the thing I could use to go around it. Maybe that's why it's trying to get me to do it this way. And I might even like that better. I don't know. Hooks versus use? Is that a React hooks, use effect versus, oh my gosh. React. Alright. Next.js hooks versus use state? I don't know, that's probably not even a valid comparison. Use state hook for React and Next.js. How do you use React hooks using use state versus just variables? The reason is if you use state, it reorders the view. Variables by themselves only change bits in memory, and the state of your app can get out of sync with the view. In both cases, it changes on click, but only when using useState the view correctly shows. If you derive your data from props, It's recommended to use local variables instead of keeping data in state because the component will re-render on prop change anyway, so the view will be in sync with the data. Putting them in state would only cause unnecessary re-render, first on prop change, then on state change. One more way of looking at this answer is think of it as a case that the variable A will be garbage collected after it finishes executing, while in the first one, since it leverages useState, it will preserve the value. He could still use ref if he didn't want to re-render the view. The question remains if he should use local variables or React references. Generally, the rule is use local vars for derived state. For anything else, use ref if you don't want re-render, or use state if you want re-render. In the case of timers, as they are side effects, they should be started in useEffect. If you want timer ID only for cleanup purposes, you can keep in handler's local variable if you want to be able to clear the timer. Alright, let's go back to my chat GPT. See, this one actually creates the get. That's all I wanted, man. Just create the freaking get for me. You were just, you know. Actually, what I needed to do here too, this, I do need to put this on my thing here. 'Cause I don't think I actually set it up here. That's probably better. I mean, if I was going to call it in multiple places, I guess I could kind of see it. But I guess every time it comes in here, somebody calls this, I suppose it could validate the verify it, right? But we're doing a get now. So we got cookie header. All right, so this is what I want in my cookie. So I want my get request now. Cookies dot object constant token. Assuming the dwit is stored in a cookie named dwit. Oh, it's not stored in a cookie named dwit, but okay. Decoded token dot email. This is a much longer get though. But this is like getting the email. If I had email in there, which I hope to have email in there because I want that. But because I'm not passing anything back with my dwit yet, but I will need to. What was it called? UCL underscore UCL underscore AU underscore token or token, maybe it's what it is. I think that's what it is. Cookie name Nope, it's not the cookie name. This is supposed to be this cookie. Alright, so we're going to have app split, and then we're going to go down here. We don't actually have email, so this isn't going to work yet, but I will comment that out for the moment, which I don't actually know how to do a bulk line comment.
Me, I would have been watching you guys stream, by the way.
Select command open source format selection document rename. Oh, I can't remember the command for doing this. Turn it. What is the hotkey in VS Code for commenting a block of code? Control // Nope, not what I wanted to be. Let's be over here. Alright, there we go. Return the extracted value. Message. Success. Some dude's email. Some dude's email. Hey, Finley Grange, how you do? Oh, thanks. You were faster than me or you were probably faster than me when I asked Code or ChatGPT. I didn't see your response, but okay. So here's what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn, basically. I'm trying to learn React, Next.js, and Blazor. I'm doing a side-by-side application. They're side-by-side, and as in they're going to be identical or, functionally the same. And one's going to be, they're both, the app's called Ultimate Community Ladder, as in a gaming ladder or a competition ladder. And I'm going to allow people to sign up for like a tennis or pickleball or bowling or whatever kind. I'm going to create a bunch of options in there, different kinds of ladders. It could be a board game ladder. It could just be anything. Chess ladder. And it's just people in your community or in your area. So it's like you would be able to play them in person kind of thing. And then the whole thing here is for me to learn how to use these two apps. And right now I'm trying to do the part where I'm implementing authentication on both apps. Now, I've created an authentication API. It's written in .NET only. I'm not doing both versions for the .NET API, but I am doing I just created the .NET API. That's this guy right here. It's pretty basic right now. It's just got the register, login, and validate token. I saw a bunch of people online because I'm trying to learn from the various YouTubers and ChatGPT and everything I can utilize to learn how to do this stuff. And none of them had a validate/verify token method on the Auth API. And I'm like, well, I want to be able to validate authorize the token. Right now I'm validating it within because I just use the secret here. But what I'm thinking about doing is having my auth handle the validation. So if I want to validate, instead of validating locally, which is probably faster, but I could leave all of my validation up to the API and my entire token handling by just saying, hey, tell me if this is valid and sending it back. I know it's an extra traffic thing, but I just feel like I like the idea of my web API handling all token related stuff. So now I've been spending a lot of time not only trying to get one of the biggest problems I had is I could not find anywhere online, no YouTubers. They all show you how to implement the API once you create it in the weather forecast sample that comes within the template. And I'm like, well, that doesn't do me any good because it's in the same app. I need to know how to utilize that authentication API in an alternate exterior app. So my Blazor app and my React app can call it, get the token back, and utilize it on the front end, separate from the actual API. And I thought, well, shoot, somebody's got to be doing this. And maybe I just did the wrong search. I mean, I tried a bunch of different things and I could not find. I looked at a bunch of different .NET Auth APIs, and I could not figure out how they were doing it because they were all doing it either in the app or using some other language. They weren't using a .NET API, which of course meant the calls are different. Everything was different. And so I was like, well, I can't figure this out. So I finally started saying, well, somebody came along and says, why aren't you using AI? And I go, well, because AI has been crap to me in the past, but I'll try it again because, why not? Maybe I'm just asking the wrong questions. So I started using it, and it was giving me some pretty good answers. Now, granted, I had to learn a lot along the way, because when you're asking help from the AIs, it assumes you know the rest. So whatever you ask it, it's going to give you the answer. And if you don't know the full bit, you have to ask for the other bits. And so it would tell me how to do one thing. And one of the things I found out is my auth API can be written like 6, 7, 8 different ways. And I had to figure out and learn, all the different ways that you could use this. I wanted to use a bearer token. A lot of things suggested Druid tokens. I thought, well, what's the difference? Learned what Druid token was. Bearer was. I like the benefits of bearer, but then I realized there's a hybrid version. You can actually use a Druid bearer token. I'm like, oh, well, that's like, the best of both worlds, right? You get a little bit of you get the opacity of the bearer token, but the additional options of a Druid token. And so I thought, well, let's try to do that. And it said it would be a little bit more complicated to utilize. And it's been a little bit more complicated, but that could just be because I didn't know how to do any of this to begin with. I mean, I knew zero about implementing an auth API, much less creating the auth API. And finally, I got it all created with a validation piece on it, slimmed it down to just these basics. So eventually, I got to get it to return more stuff, like an email and a name and other stuff that comes with the login. And that's kind of what I'm working on now, I've finally got my React. That's what I've been working on all day today, was getting my React application to consume my auth API so that I could, actually use it and start, securing pages. And I finally got that working. That was what I got working today, except now I'm messing with it, so who knows, I'm probably going to break it again. But ultimately, I want to be able to, set it up. I have the post where it's saving to the cookie. Now I'm doing a get to read from the cookie that I can actually have my pages go, oh, if you're on the account page, let's redirect you to the login page if it's not set, or at least go get your information so that we can load up the account page with your correct information. And here, I'm actually just trying to get the information. So when I go back to the login page, the home page, it displays correctly. And I'm running into a lot of different things. And so I made the mistake of asking Blackbox AI, so Blackbox AI and ChatGPT have, they have different approaches to things. Now it doesn't mean they're not perfectly valid, maybe even equally good, and maybe black box AI sometimes is better, maybe it's ChatGPT. But like in this case, I asked black box AI, look, my get method's not working with my new setup because I decided to go with this headers instead of just using straight up token reads, or cookie reads. I'm gonna pass it into the headers. And my get method I had didn't read from the headers, and so I had to rewrite it. So I asked Blackbox AI. I go, hey, look, I need to have my get method for reading from my Druid token the values I need on whatever page, and it gave me a whole different thing. It said, oh, to do a get method here, do this, and it basically wrote hooks and did things totally different. The language is the same, and I understand hooks, and I'm like, okay, that's an approach, but the problem is that's not how my stuff was written. So I rewrote it. So I need a get method, and it says this is a get method. I'm like, okay, I guess technically it's probably a get method, but it doesn't say get, and it's not a post, and it's not on my page, and I need it to be the same kind of thing because it's not. I'm not using hooks right here. And maybe hooks are better. I'm not saying that my way is best. I just want it to be the same. So I went back to ChatGPT and I said, hey, can you rewrite this get method for me using this new setup? And it rewrote it and did exactly what I wanted, using exactly what I asked for. So again, ChatGPT is, it's on the same wavelength as me, and Blackbox AI is like, well, I got this way to do it, and I'm like, okay, but my brain is not there right now. So, I've changed directions so many times on this app. I was like, oh, well, this way's better, and it's because I'm learning, of course, which way's better, what I like better, what personal preferences I'm gaining as I learn more. But ultimately, that's what I'm working on right now. I'm trying to get my app to consume my get methods. Now, here's the thing. Once I get it consuming and I can navigate with my auth, I have to go back to my Blazor app. And I'm going to tell you right now, I started with the Blazor app trying to get it to consume my API. And you would think, because they're both written in .NET, easy peasy, right? I mean, it should be a straightforward, hey, we're calling a .NET API with a .NET app. Things are going to go good. They did not go good. I could not get them going. That's why I switched over to the React. And it's like the React one, although it's written in a totally different language, mostly, syntactically different and structurally different. So I think that's totally different. The concepts may be similar, but whatever. It just seemed easier. It just seemed like I gronked it faster. I love C#. It's got so much power, so many things you can do with it, but sometimes it's a little verbose, It's just a little too wordy. There's just too many things going on. It's like, just get to the point, man. It's like I'm able to write gets for, this is not that many lines of code. This is 10 lines of code, not counting the try. 1, 2, yeah, it's not even that. And this is the email part. The get, simple. The post, simple, same thing. It's only got, a handful of lines. Just setting up to connect Blazor to my auth API. I mean, here's the connection to my auth API. Okay, so this is the call to it. But this is my code to basically connect to call my authentication. And so this is the authentication steps. There's the try, and this is actually, I just added this piece. So the actual call to the login is this. That's all it is. That's a call to the login. Not much, just a few lines, and pretty simple, most of it. I'm just here I'm getting the token, and here I set the token, or here I'm holding the token, and then here I set it. Easy, straightforward, key pieces, simple. With the Blazor one, I found that it's like I can't even get through the first page where you're just setting it up, much less go and see if it works. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure it out more as I go over to it. I have to switch to it and do that. But I bounce around a lot. You'll notice that this is one thing I'm working on. Other times I'm working on my AZ204 certification classes on Coursera. I'm doing Coursera class to try to get AZ certified, or AZ204 certification, which is developing for Azure. I let that run out for a bit because I'm out of work right now, and I was having a crisis of money, conscience when it came to money. But I figured, well, I got to get back in there. I realized money's slowly sifting away, but I have to learn this stuff so I can go get a job, because I'm finding it really hard to find work, simply because my skills are outdated. I've got 20 years plus of C#. SQL Server, at least, is not outdated because it never really changes that much. I mean, if you know SQL Server well from 10 years ago and you're still good at it, then you know it now. So SQL Server hasn't been changing. So you can work with old SQL Server, you can work with new SQL Server if you can work with new SQL Server, which I can. So that's not a problem. And there's a lot of demand for SQL Server. I mean, yes, I've been trying to learn some stuff in Cosmos and a little bit of Mongo and Postgres, and there's just so many things, so many tiers and pieces, and everybody wants something different when you go look for jobs. And I'm just trying to add my stuff. I'm trying not to do too much vertical learning, more horizontal, so I can learn the stacks, and then maybe add one or two stack options. But right now, my primary skills are SQL Server, C#, which is C# .NET framework up to 4.5, ASP.NET, which I know ASP.NET great, but again, old. So that's kind of my stack, right? So I got database, middle tier, and website. But everybody wants newer stuff, which is like .NET Core and React, Angular, Vue, and in some cases Blazor. I kind of want to learn Blazor, but I actually am starting to get attached to React, I gotta say. Staying away from Angular and Vue because I don't want to learn that many horizontals. I figure if I can learn 2 of the 4, I mean, there's others. There's even more than those 4, but those are the 2 I'm picking up on, Blazor and React. And they have the middle tier, which is, well, for Blazor, it's more Blazor because they have their own middle tier stuff. But Next.js is the React middle tier, or Node.js, but I'm doing Next.js, which is built on top of Node. That's what I am saying. That's why I've been redirecting so much. When I first started writing my my Auth API, okay, I wrote it, got it working, and I just kind of went along with it. It was good. But then I started trying to get this validate token thing in there, and since I couldn't, I started having to play with how it was written. But all of my, ChatGPT and Black Box AI, they started throwing these other options at me, and I started realizing, wait a minute, there's different types. Well, not only is there different types of tokens, there's different types of authentications, and you see you've got what was it? API key, auth, and what do they call it? Like something flow or endemic flow or something. I'm like, what the heck is that one? And I go, well, okay, that one is outdated. So they said, don't use that one. And I'm like, oh, okay, because Black Box AI gave me that one as an example. So I had to look around, and it's like, okay, so API key is an option, but I actually decided that auth was the better option. Okay, so I finally locked down on that, and that was after having written the other 2 options a couple times. And then I was looking at auth and going, oh wait, there's auth, and then there's auth with authentication and authorization are the 2 different things you have to deal with. Well, authentication can be done multiple ways. You got OIDC, which is OpenID Connect, and you have Auth 2.0, and you have whatever I ended up doing, because I didn't do those 2, because those 2 require third party apps. You know, like you're gonna basically what you're doing there is you're signing in with Google or Facebook or one of those things. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing that because I wanna do that. That's like an option for later. You can give people the option of signing in with one of those two things. But first, I wanted to have it because usually what you have is local login, or you can use, you know, want somebody else. Well, I'm creating the local login part. I want all that to work. I want to get that all the way through, and then I'll look at offering what do you call it? Facebook slash Google logins, and that would be OIDC and OAuth too. But I'm gonna try and put all that into my authorize API. So basically, the UI will say, "Hey, do you want to log in with Facebook or whatever?" And it'll say yes, and I'll pass that. They'll put in the email and password or whatever, and click, and it'll send that information back to my auth API, which will go do the authorization junk, send back the token or whatever information that the Facebook app pulls and provides, and it'll send it back to be used. This way, all of my authorization is handled by one thing, and those two apps don't have to worry about it. Well, they have to worry about connecting and consuming it, but they don't have to do that part, and I don't have to write that twice. Yes, there might be some benefits to that, but also for me, learning to write an API that can do all this stuff is also a benefit. Learning how to write a functional backend API. Now, I may create another API that does other database topics, things that aren't authentication. It may be my other database stuff, and maybe I'll create an API that's specific just for my API stuff, which means I'll have to figure out how to make sure that I authenticate make sure my token's valid before I allow the user to use my database API. So the API will be going, hey, are these people authenticated? And you can say, yes, they're authenticated, and then it'll say, okay, here's the information you want. So some kind of validation step in there. That's all the big picture of what I'm trying to do. And I keep thinking, like you, of different ways, because like, again, Black Box AI was providing me different ways to do this, and now I kind of second guessing, do I want to do get post, or do I want to do the hook option? I like the idea of hooks. I don't know why hooks feel good. I don't fully understand them 100%. I mean, I've done a couple of them in examples in practice, but fully implementing them, I haven't got that 100% in my mind. But still, the way they're described, the way they functioned when I did the test, something about them feels right. But again, I don't know 100% of their benefit. But like you, I keep switching directions, and that kills my mojo. It helps me to learn, because I'm going to go to a company who's doing it one or the other way, right? If they hire me for that purpose, I'm going to go there and go, oh, you're doing this option. Well, at least I know what it is. I know how to get in there and you know, have some idea of how that's working. So that's kind of what my my goal is to be familiar enough that I can go in there and go, oh, I know what you're doing. And at least, because you're never going to know the other code unless you've worked with their app before. But at least you can go in there and know how to navigate it. And it took me really long to do that with my other job. Part of the reason they probably got rid of me, because I probably wasn't, I didn't learn any one of their 20 bajillion apps they had fast enough. I don't know. But yeah, it's hard to do stuff. But they do say the best way to learn is to do. I mean, actually get in there, pick a project, something you like, something that's kind of hits home for you, and just start programming it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm creating an app I think is going to be fun to create. I'm going to try to, once I get through it, I have all these plans, big plans in my mind, if it ever gets finished, because if I get a job, there's going to be a lot less time to work on it. Let's just say not if. When I get a job and or win the lotto, I'm going to be different scheduling. Well, if I win a lot, I'll have plenty of time to work on it. But if I get a job, I won't be able to work on it as much, because my days will be used working for someone else. As much as I like the idea of working for myself, it doesn't pay well yet. So, unless, of course, you want to go buy a bunch of my mage cages and help me get my Kickstarter going, and then at that point, maybe. I don't think it'll support me either. It'll make some money, but it won't support me. It'll support itself. All right, what time is it? 4:55. It's almost end of day for me here. Well, 4:55 my time. But I do need to test my my get here that I just implemented and see what it does. All right, I'll go back to my thing here. So we're not crashed. I do want to see. I did go here, and we are currently broken on my route here. So I gotta see what's broken. What is broken on my route? We're missing something. Expected colon? Why is there an expected colon there? Hey, you too, man. You have a good one. Where is my expected? Why is there... Fetching the value in front of... Alright, so here's the email. Message success. Some dude email. Oh, probably because I don't need this. Or do I? I would think that that's a string, but all right, let's go with email. Let's take this out and X. We're just going email. I don't know why it didn't like. I don't know why it didn't like that. Probably because it expected a variable. Oh, maybe I needed to do something like this. Like that. That's what I would have wanted. Didn't know I needed to pass that, but sure. somedudeemail.com. That's not right. It's some dude at someemail.com. Some dude at someemail.com. There we go. Hopefully that'll work, because this email is supposed to be coming back as part of this test, and I'm pulling the email token, but I don't have this value yet, so I'm not actually passing anything. I'm just setting up for it. So we'll see how that works. Okay. Well, it's not complaining about syntax anymore. And I might just want to get their first name, but right now, it's first things first. We're going to go back to my, I guess, my home page. Home on the page. Where the deer play. Where sound is heard in this encouraging word. All right, so we got to get here. Now, what did it say? It said I need to read my NuGet. Fetching the value in the front end. We have basically what I'm on the front end. Constant response await fetch. Get cookie value is not what it's called, but it is a get. Are they doing a use effect? It's not doing a use effect here, which is interesting. Here's an example of how to fetch the value from the API route in your Next.js front end. I would love to not do this with the. Alright, let's go like this. I'm gonna try and do it the way it says here. So we're gonna go. I do like that it's putting in async function fetch email from token. I don't want to call it that. I would have rather just passed back the value, but it's alright, whatever. Async function. I don't even know if this is the best place for this, right? I should probably have this put somewhere else so other things can read it. But for now, we're just going to call it fetch email from token, just like it says. We're going to call it API. Oops, what did I just do? Page. Oh, I page down. API. Say, what buttons do I have over there? I don't know. Okay, so we got auth. Is it API auth? Oh no, it's API cookie. API cookie. And I don't know. It's API cookie. Why do I have it called get cookie value? Is that the name of the component that it thinks I'm calling? Well, it's not. It's API cookie, and this is a get method. Yes. And then we got credentials include. I don't even know what that is. Include cookies in the request. Credentials include. Include cookies in the request. Okay. I don't know. Does that actually do anything in the get? It doesn't actually do anything when it gets here, right? It just says get cookie header. I don't know. I hope it has it. I'm probably misreading how this is working, but. Alright, so we got constant rest, we got everything, JSON, response, got the console.log, catch, fetch, email from token, so we're going to go down here, and we're going to go, I'm going to give it a, I'm gonna get rid of this. Let's comment this puppy out. Go control. Hey, I know what that one is now. Yay. Alright, so we're gonna go constant. And we're gonna go user email equals fetch email from token. And then we're going to go totally got a different way that's going now. That was my get. So what is this going to return? I'm guessing it's going to return a null again. So I'm going to be looking at nulls now. Because I don't think my get actually returns anything if it's not set. Pretty sure. Alright, we got cross headers, get, return, response. No cookies found. Oh. Oh, okay. So we'll just say get. It's not cookie either. It is called. It is called a different thing. It's called UCL token. And it's called right there. Get cookie. Cookie header. And we're going to go down here. And we're going to say, well, I'm just going to say no cookie found. We're going to say cookie not found. What was the, what was it called here again? So I can call it the same thing. So I don't have it happening twice here. Now part of JSX, it's cookie not found. Okay, just like I said it was. So because I know everything is case sensitive, we will make sure I copy that so I don't make the mistake of typing it wrong. Cookie not found. Okay. Dwit cookie not. What is a dwit? What's the difference between a dwit cookie not found? Now it's gonna be a dwit cookie. I mean, what other kind of cookie would it be? I mean, that's what I've said it's gonna be. But I guess if I say dwit, at least I know that the air is a different spot. Dwit cookie not found. Just in case it's different. Because there's like no token here. It has to be the same though. Now I think about it, it has to be the same because my message has to capture it. So the cookie header's not there, so the cookie's not found, and then this one is the token, the cookie not found. And I guess I would have to be, I don't know, more specific. And yeah, I guess that's my testing state. So we're down here doing my get. So we have a call. My navbar JSX calling my user email. I'm going to put this down here because that's what it is now we're looking at. We're no longer looking at that other thing. And if things worked, user email would be over here. So if things work and everything's happy, we're going to say if it's not null, we're not going to say hello, but we're going to say hello, hello again, my friend, hello. Going to put this guy in, and then we're going to say hello, and then we're going to say $, squiggly bracket, and then we're going to say user email again. Because if it's not to that, we'll say that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's try it. Let's try it, folks. This might not work when I'm way over my goal time, but I gotta give it a go, right? Oh, I'm using bash. Or is it here? Nope. Did I not start? I'm not even started? Could have swore I was running. No. Alrighty. Ah, errors. Kaboom! Kaboom! Crash! Missing script dev. Wait. Alright. What do you mean? What do you mean missing script dev? What? Oh, stop it. Alright, something's weird. What's going on here? CLS script. What? Of course it exists. I've been doing this all day. What? Oh, I'm in the wrong. Oh. Sheesh. How'd I end up back there? Oh, is it already running? What is already? Where's it running at? No, that's not gonna work. All right. No, I can't use a different page. That's not okay. Am I actually running here in Node? Why am I running over here in Node? Oh. Why am I running in Node? That's weird. Oh, it is PowerShell. How come it's... Oh, it's just weird. Just displayed different. Oh. That is so weird. Okay. Alright. I'm getting close to being done. This is kind of like my big test for the day, and then I'll see where that leaves me for tomorrow. But... choking myself. Ah. All right, so we got it running. Let's go ahead and start her up. Let's see what errors come up. I mean, I don't know what to expect at this point. I'm thinking it probably gonna fail because it's my first attempt to get this working. Hey, hello, object promise. Are we actually logged in, or did it just blow up? Code. Error. Invalid URL. API cookie. It is not an invalid URL. What crazy talking are you talking, man? API cookie. It's not. It's API cookie right there. Plus, I've used it in like 15 different places. API cookie right there. It's kind of weird though that it's fetching here. Why am I fetching here when it's doing it there? Oh no, this is for the actual post of the login though. API auth login. API cookie. Why does it fail to parse URL from API cookie? Oh, is it because of my relative positioning? Because this one just goes API auth login. Oh no, that's API cookie. Yeah, I know, you blew up, whatever. Why does that one complain? It's kind of weird though that my get has to do an API fetch, but my get already does an API fetch. Get, see? Oh, no, I guess it doesn't. Never mind. Ignore me, I don't know what my code is doing. All right, so fetch API cookie. Why doesn't it? What is the? Is it because it needs to be from the root and it doesn't like it because I'm within another component? No, API cookie would be forward. If I want to go back, I have to do like dot maybe? I don't know if that's going to work either, but it didn't like my API cookie line, so. Still doesn't like it. Failed to parse URL from API cookie. So API app. I don't understand what's going on here. Pretty sure that's not it either. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not working. Why doesn't it? How come it can't find my case sensitiving? No. I'm not sure what's going on. Await fetch API. I'm not sure why it can't find my route. Because I had it in here using this before. Can I do this? No. Kind of thought it might give me. I was hoping. I was hoping it would give me IntelliSense to find the right path. But no. Why can't it find? Fetch API. App API. Get cookie value. It would be weird to have to write app, but all right, I'll write app. But I don't. That's weird. It's the only thing I can think of at this point. Doesn't. Can't find app API cookie either. It does not believe in my path. Okay. I am syntactically doing something wrong here. What is the problem here? API. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is here. Why can't it find that? Fetch email token. Fetch email token from. Fetch email from token. Error invalid URL. What are you talking about? What is the problem? And this one uses API cookie just fine. I don't have any trouble referencing it. Granted, it's doing it from a different file, but do I need to call it in? You know, like import it? That'd be weird, but maybe. It doesn't say I have to import it. What if I do this? Just, or take my method. Take my method and shove it. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna. All right, now it might not do it because it's probably using a response. And I was thinking about taking it and putting it in the, taking the function here and uses a response though, so I don't know if it's going to work because response is front end and res is back end. It's weird, and they don't do the same things. So they're not a sure thing on what they're going to do for you. But what I'm thinking of trying like this is a hook, my use AMG authorize. And I'm tempted to try to do that. Call it use token. And then I could just call the token. But there's not, I mean, there are other methods in there. I mean, I have login user and I can call it that way, but I don't know why my nav bar doesn't want to. What does that smell? Something smells bad down here. I don't know if it's something in the laundry room or what. I need to take a break. I need to call it. I'll have to fix this tomorrow. That's all I can do, man. Figure out why it's being misbehaving. Till then.